no one has a problem delivering good news. It seems like there's not a whole lot of training out there to deliver good news to people. But delivering bad news is something that we all have to do at some point in our life, probably multiple times.
Right.
And what is the best way to approach that?
Two real critical things. The right way to do it is you say, I got bad news. You wait about a second and you deliver the news. Never let somebody get blindsided by bad news. They need about a second to prep themselves, no matter how bad the news is. I got bad news. Now, if you wait longer than a second, now they really start to spin down. You know, you don't go, you're not going to like this. Are you sitting down? All that nonsense. People are remarkably resilient if you give them a second to brace themselves. So that's the way you deliver bad news. Now, the other part that a lot of people do wrong is before they deliver bad news, they want to say, how are you? That is not the way to do it for a lot of reasons. Number one, if you ask someone that, and I understand it can be very well-intentioned, but if you're going to deliver bad news and you got to ask them how they are, that either means you're ignorant or you're oblivious to the current situation. If I say to you, how are you? Your first thought is, especially if we're in an environment where you should be delivering me bad news, your thought is going to be, you don't know? Like, how could we be this far into this and you have no idea how I am? I mean, it's a very well-intentioned thing that communicates that you might be oblivious. So if you know somebody's bad, if you know they're not doing well, then start off by saying, like, look, I know things are rough for you right now. That's a recognition that you see them, that you're not oblivious, and that you care enough to actually notice and you're not afraid to articulate it.
It's empathy.
It's exactly, as opposed to being oblivious. You know, the funny thing is, I know so many stories where employees were about to get fired. They knew they were about to get fired. And the person firing them started out by saying, how are you? I mean, come on. It's well-intentioned, but it's off base.
So the better approach is coming in and saying, got some bad news.
Got bad news.
Today's your last day at our organization.
That would be perfect. Completely perfect. They're not going to be shocked. They're going to appreciate the warning. They're going to appreciate the fact that you then didn't hold them and let them twist in the wind for a long period of time. Give people the chance to be emotionally resilient, and they will be.
Now, what about what comes after that? Because I've seen certain, business owners really struggle where it becomes, and even if I look back at myself, where because you have that level of empathy, what could be a 5-minute meeting turns into an hour meeting because it's almost like you're trying to soften it for them, of saying that, like,
right, yeah, and that attempt to soften it is well-intentioned, but torturous. You know, you rip the Band-Aid off. Just because you don't want it to hurt doesn't mean you should rip it off more slowly. You know, the most humane thing to do is to let them have it. Don't let them twist in the wind. You cannot soften a blow. There is no gentle way to cut off somebody's head unless you're trying to cut it off nicely. Then it's going to be torture. What do you do after that? Have a game plan laid out. They're going to be in a little bit of a state of shock. You're going to say, here's how we're going to proceed. There are a couple immediate concerns that they're going to have. You gotta give things a chance to sink in, and then you begin to address the immediate concerns. People want a way forward. They want to know what the truth is. They appreciate straight shooters. What's a straight shooter? A straight shooter is somebody who tells the truth in an emotionally intelligent way. They don't let people twist in the wind. They don't torture people in the guise of being nice.
So this is interesting. Everything always comes full circle because many of the best leaders have been described as tough but fair.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And people know that there are problems. They're not oblivious to it. They want you to be honest with them about it.